2012 Margaret Brent Award recipient, Arlinda Locklear. Arlinda Locklear is a legendary attorney within the field of federal Indian law. She has maintained a practice as a sole practitioner who has focused on her clients' fundamental concerns and has resisted expanding her firm's activities into government affairs or public relations, preferring to specialize in issues of recognition, land claims, and the authority of tribal governments. Generally avoiding the spotlight, her work speaks for itself. She may have a Washington, D.C. address, but her home will always be Robson County, North Carolina, where her Native American ancestors and extended family have lived for centuries. Arlinda is a member of the Lumbee tribe, and although the tribe received official federal recognition in 1956, the legislation came without the financial benefits and entitlements given to other federally recognized tribes. A testament to her dedication to the law and her people, Arlinda Locklear has spearheaded the Lumbee recognition effort unpaid for over 2 decades. Born at Fort Bragg, she spent her school years in Charleston, where her father was stationed with the Navy. As a child, she traveled back and forth to North Carolina, spending summers, vacations, and holidays with her grandparents and many cousins back home. Being a part of these 2 separate environments, Arlinda could clearly see the inequality Indians faced in her community. The Indian-only schools were underfunded, she recalls. Even at age 12, I recognized that this was not just individual discrimination, it was government-sanctioned discrimination and was unacceptable. I knew early on that I wanted to become a lawyer and work to change this. A political science major at the College of Charleston, Arlinda went on to Duke University School of Law, where she distinguished herself as a promising litigator, winning a national moot court competition her 3rd year against then Boston College student John Kerry. After earning her J.D. in 1976, Arlinda went to work with the Native American Rights Fund, the nation's oldest and largest nonprofit law firm dedicated to asserting and defending the rights of Indian tribes, organizations, and individuals. During her 11 years with the organization, first in Boulder and then as director of NARF's Washington, D.C. office, she represented tribes throughout the country in federal and state courts. In 1983, she became the first Native American woman to argue before the Supreme Court and has had 2 cases in which the court found in favor of the tribal parties. In fact, Oneida Indian Nation versus County of Oneida became the seminal decision upon which all other land claim litigation since has been based. It upheld her theory that tribes have a federal common law right to sue for possession of tribal land taken in violation of federal law. Additionally, she holds much pride in improving the quality of life of the Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation in Arizona by settling a 12-year standoff to the nation's federal reserved water rights. Arlinda also ended a 50-year-long oversight by the Bureau of Indian Affairs, and now members of the Tejon tribe of California can receive the services they had been denied. While balancing her career against the demands of parenthood, serving her clients tenaciously, and maintaining the respect of her colleagues, Arlinda has served as an inspiration to other Native American women lawyers and is always available to mentor other women lawyers. Among her numerous awards, in 2008 she was honored for her contributions to the American Indian community by the Conference of American Indian Women of Proud Nations. And that same year, she was honored with the Albany Law School Kate Stoneman Award. No stranger to the patience and stamina required of decades-long change, she hopes to one day help create a school of Southeast American Indian Studies at the University of North Carolina and help build the bridge to the next generation. For her groundbreaking achievements on behalf of the Native American community and her inspirational commitment to expanding opportunities for women, the American Bar Association Commission on Women in the Profession is proud to present the 2012 Margaret Brent Women Lawyers of Achievement Award to Arlinda Locklear.
Note to future Margaret Brent Award winners, if you can manipulate the alphabet so that you can go first, please do so. These are very difficult women to follow. Let me start first, obviously, by saying thank you. I am deeply touched by the award of the Margaret Brent Award by the American Bar Association Women in the Profession of Law. It is an honor to receive the award, and I am humbled to be in the company of these remarkable women. I consider myself greatly blessed. I had the great good fortune to be born into an Indian community that fosters values much like those that the Margaret Brent Award represents. These are the values of commitment to each other, the values of community, and the value that we are all in this together. Whatever your place is, whatever your world consists of, we are all in this together, and we have a mutual responsibility to provide for the future well-being of those who come after us. Those are Indian values that I learned in my community, and those are the values that the Margaret Brent Award represents. As a member of an Indian community, I witnessed and experienced the pain and humiliation that discrimination can cause. It is a very hurtful thing, and it injures not only communities, but individuals. So the good fortune of coming from an Indian community served also as my inspiration for the dedication of my life. It occurred to me early on that it should be my place, if I can at all make any difference to any Indian community, that's my job. It's been known to the Supreme Court for more than 100 years now that Indian communities experience the most hostile attitude from the local and state governments wherein they reside. That has been known to us, and we have all faced that. Up until very recently, though, we had always had an ally in the federal government, either in the halls of Congress or at the end of the day, if all else failed, on the bench of the Supreme Court of the United States. In my career, during my career, I've seen that change. We can no longer count on Congress to stand with the rights that are embodied in more than 300 federal Indian treaties. Those rights have become the subject of negotiation, of barter, and sometimes at actual loss due to the passage of time and other doctrines that we had all thought federal rights were immune to. We have also reached a point, though, in modern times where we do not rely on the United States Supreme Court any longer as the final arbiter and protection of Indian rights. In fact, to the contrary, our clients now at all costs avoid that court. Frankly, we just don't do well there anymore. Times are difficult. Times are difficult in Indian country, but Indian country has survived difficult times, and we will survive these. Part of the mechanism of that survival is to teach our younger people coming along, in particular our lawyers, that there is great work left to be done. It is our responsibility to imbue them with the collective experience and knowledge that we have acquired over time so that when their time comes, they can use that to the best benefit of our people. There are very few compensations, don't let anybody kid you, about getting older. But one of those is when young women come to me and say, "You inspired me to go to law school. Can I call you when I need you?" And the answer is always yes. There is nothing more heartwarming than that experience. Save one, and that's the experience of my own children. I have been able to, hopefully in some part due to their experience of my modeling, I have watched them acquire a passion for their own issues. My son believes that he will help settle the Middle East issues one day. He's in the United States Navy now as an intelligence analyst, and he's in San Diego and couldn't be with me. My daughter, who was a women's study and gender major in undergraduate, is now a graduate student at George Washington, getting her master's in public policy, and hopes to change the world for women. I watch them both with great love and admiration. Their passions are not my passions, but they have passions, and that's what's important. I have had the great good benefit of being able to make a living at my passion. I am grateful for that. I am grateful that the Commission acknowledged those shared values between Indian country and the Margaret Brent Award, and I am most grateful and honored to have received it. Thank you very much.